I can guarantee you, if you winnow your colonies outside the same way I do, you will not have any losses of your outdoor colonies. It starts with a dark colored hive, because during the winter when it's really cold, you normally get sunshine. Unfortunately, I got trees that blacken a lot of it, but what happens is the sun will warm up the front of the hive, and any bees that come out, and if they don't go to the ground and they come on the hive, there's a good chance they can do cleansing flights and make it back into the hive. But if they end up on the ground, that's it, they're done. And you may think you see a lot of bees on the ground during the winter. I've done it before in the past winters. I've gathered up bees and I brought them inside an hour or two after they've been on the ground like that, and they do come back to life. If you have time to do that and you need bees to put into another hive, if you can do it the same day, they will come back to life. What happens is they can't resist the urge to come out and do a cleansing flight, and they come out and they realize it's so cold they don't make it back to the hive, and if they end up on the ground, they're done. So anyway, I've got fuses in here, and I take this flashlight every morning. Like yesterday morning, it was 6 degrees. I come out early in the morning, about 6 o'clock or so, and I take this flashlight and I look in here and I make sure there's a little bit of movement. When they're clustered, you'll see them moving around a little bit. And if you don't see any movement and it looks like they're chilled, as long as you've checked them every day, you still have a chance to bring them inside and warm them up and save their life, save that colony. And I see a lot of people want to wrap their hives and they want to do stuff and put sugar on the top. I put my sugar between the deeps and the mediums. This is just 100% cane sugar. You know, if you have anybody knows how to make hard candy, stuff like that, they can show you how to make this. It's not completely hard candy. It's somewhere in between hard candy and just sugar or syrup. And you take the fuse out and you carefully, slowly put that in, and they'll get out of the way, and you keep track of how much sugar they have in there. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to supplement them from eating all their honey and give them some sugar to eat too along with that honey. They need that honey for moisture, because that's their source of moisture during the winter. See, I've got some bees right here. This is a large colony. They come out and I see them, they're looking for moisture. And they say bees don't heat the hive. That's true. Bees don't necessarily heat the hive, but they do heat the hive warm enough, you know, that a lot of the moisture comes out. See right there, that's water. The heat and the moisture comes out. And I've seen before in past winters during polar vortexes, icicles forming here. So bees do actually heat the hive to a warmer temperature than the outside. And I have, to keep the wind from blowing in on them, they're up against the wall. And this is the south wall of a building. I have 1 inch behind, 2 inches on the sides, and this keeps wind from blowing in there and causing drafts. And of course, they're underneath the roof, so if it happens to rain during the winter, you don't have to worry about water getting in and on them. And this is the other important thing. This year, I'm going to end up double stacking hives here because I'm going to end up with so many. And I really wouldn't want to do that, but I don't have a choice. Ideally, is you don't want to double stack them. You want to be able to, this is why you don't put the sugar on top. So you can get in here and you can actually look, see how much honey they have. And if they need honey, you could add honey to them. Because when this queen starts laying late winter, early spring, I'm going to be giving them some pollen patty here in about a week or so to get the queen to start laying. They're going to be using that honey. You want to keep track of how much they use. You don't want them to run out. And the reason I'm having trouble this winter is because I did this Formic Pro formic acid last September, and I lost 10% of my colonies from losing their queen. So I went down to 64, and I just lost one the other day inside because I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, this didn't kill the Varroa mites. If you check out my videos from last fall, November, early November is when I realized that I had an issue. My bees were dying at an alarming rate. See, I just cleaned these out. This is not bad. But when you clean out a huge pile of it, about half a coffee can or so, you know you got an issue. This stuff did not kill the Varroa mites last September, but it did a good job killing 10% of my queens. I will never ever use it again. I switched to oxalic acid, vaporizing, and that works great. So whenever you get a chance, you want to clean out the bottoms of your hive to keep the airflow. If I can get this one to come out. Yeah, she's frozen in pretty good. But anyway, we'll do this one here. Take a stick, and it's real simple. Just scrape them out. Then it helps the bees out. They don't have to worry about carrying out so many dead bees when they get warm days because you've already done it for them. So that helps them out a lot. So, yeah, what I was saying with the colonies I have inside, because that Formic Pro formic acid did not kill the Varroa mites, my colonies shrunk quite a bit during the fall. And near zero, I'm sure I have a lot of colonies that wouldn't make it. So you got to make sure your colonies are big enough going into winter. And what had happened was I didn't have a lot of room. About a little over a week ago, I added a medium to these large colonies because I knew they were getting low on honey. And I had put a lot of large colonies in the windows last fall. And I knew they were getting low, but because it was such a hassle to get them out, put honey in them, I didn't do it like right away when I should have. And I lost the colony, so that was my fault. But other than that, there's no reason to lose colonies if you do it this way. It's real simple. You know, all these dumb beekeepers that want to leave their hives out in the field somewhere, why not bring them all to a central location, you know, at home, where you can just go out in the morning when you're drinking your coffee and check your colonies, see how they're doing. And if you find one that isn't doing well, strap it and bring it in. That's what I do. You know, if you consider these are worth $200 each, just the bees, isn't that enough money that you should be concerned about that instead of leaving them somewhere out and checking them maybe once or twice a month? I think that's just downright ridiculous and irresponsible. All right, thank you.